Ironically, Janelle did sign up for patriarchy. When her and I made an agreement that she would come into the family, she agreed wholeheartedly that she would run her will into mine because I had to be the head of the family. And she made that agreement with me.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd signed up for patriarchy, but that's not what we all agreed on in the very beginning. But
oh, the lies. Every time he opens his mouth, it's like he's auditioning for a role in Pinocchio, the sequel. Honestly, it'd be great if someone compiled all his contradictions over the years and just hit play on it. But of course, he'd probably just throw his hands up, say, "I'm not doing this," and storm off. Classic move, and don't even get me started on the gossip. The guy acted like he was some sort of innocent bystander, but when he talked about hearing through family gossip that Christine was planning to leave him, it was straight up wild. Imagine having such a huge family that your own kids are the ones to break the news to you that your wifey is considering leaving you. Like really, then there's all the other stuff. He practically screamed patriarchy. I'll never forget him saying that he just wanted to bark orders and have them obeyed like he was some kind of medieval king. Oh, and let's not forget the Hawaii incident. Dude threw an actual tantrum because they served pork at a party. Not because of dietary restrictions, just because no one asked for his royal approval first. And then the whole power move with Christine. He literally made her get up from a table so he could sit in the power position at the end. The audacity. Also, he looked down on things like mom cars and minivans like they were beneath him. Real humble guy, huh? Oh, and during therapy, when they were supposed to work on his relationship with Mary, he shut down any criticism. No listening, just a big fat nope. And then, of course, there's the whole COVID saga. Because why not add that to the list of everything else that was totally fine in his mind, right? We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Let's break it down, folks. In 2021, Kody didn't bother to call or visit his underage daughter, Savanah, for a solid 6 weeks. No drama, no feud, not even a global pandemic to blame. Just pure radio silence. And guess what? He didn't even get her a Christmas present. Nada, zip, zilch. Now, if this had been Brianna, Robyn's daughter, you can bet that Robyn would have been setting off alarms and raising holy hell. But Kody, with his best, "I don't know what went wrong, doe-eyed look," is asking, "What did I do?" Really? That's the tweet, people. Now, when Janelle's kids, already harboring real, justified resentment toward their father, see him treating Savanah like this, you can imagine how that would go over. I don't know about you, but I bet that pushed them right past the point of no return. It's like the Renaissance quote, "The choices we make dictate the life we lead." Kody, you're the one making the choices. Maybe it's time to wake up. Seriously? Samo. This hits home for me. My younger sister is my baby. I could put up with a lot, but hurting her? That's a hard no. And I think this is the breaking point for a lot of those kids. Missing visible surgery and treating Savanah like an afterthought? That's where the line was crossed. Let's be real. Kody is a terrible father. The fact that he's trying to act like he's a good one just makes it worse. If we're being honest, the only reason he's involved with Robyn's kids is because they're physically there in the house. The minute they leave, it's crickets. Even Mykelti has said it's all on her to maintain a relationship with him. Kody's lazy and just doesn't care enough to put in any effort with his kids. Kody's idea of unconditional love is a joke. He treats it like a transaction. If you don't give him the affection he expects, he won't put in the work. Savanah seems like a quiet, reserved young woman who probably isn't showering Kody with love and validation, so he's not interested in doing anything for her. It's heartbreaking. The kids, all of them, are clearly great people. But they have to deal with rejection and judgment from the one person who should be there for them, their father. It's painful. And while I'd like to hope that maybe the show edits this stuff to make it look worse than it is, I really don't think that's the case. It's tragic, but it seems real. And honestly, it's been like this for decades. Kody doesn't maintain relationships with his kids. If the moms don't push it, it doesn't happen. And when he's upset with one of the moms, well, the whole family feels it. Those kids have been carrying around decades of this garbage, and it's no surprise they're done with it. Oh, I'm absolutely dying to know which of the kids threw out the classic "you're an asshole" line to Kody. The episode on Sunday was a hot mess, and of course, the snark in me can't help but wonder which one of them had the guts to call out the absolute genius who managed to brainwash them all. My bet? Hunter. I mean, the guy just seems like the type to drop that bomb, and honestly, I'd love to see him do it. Anyone else have a different guess? It's almost poetic how none of the kids can even agree on who said what, but they're all on the same page when it comes to agreeing on one thing: Kody's a problem. It's honestly sad how many of them have come out swinging, and still, we don't know who's responsible for calling him out as the manipulative, brainwashing mess he truly is. Garrison, though, he might be the one to call Kody an asshole out loud. He's got that outspoken rage that could make him the perfect candidate for this role. But my wild guess, Hunter was the one who dropped the asshole bomb, and Leon probably went in for the manipulative shot. Or maybe it's just the same sentiment coming from all the kids. Who knows at this point? The whole brainwashing thing feels like it had come from someone who actually bought into it all for a while. So yeah, maybe Leon. Honestly, the first person who popped into my head was Peyton. I mean, if this is right after the wedding, that whole Kody threatening the kids thing was probably still fresh. Peyton was furious. His dad wasn't calling to check in, but to shut him up. Classic Kody. Here's the real kicker, though. You could easily make a case for any of them being the one to say it. And that's what really drives home how much of a disaster Kody is as a father. It's honestly impressive in the most tragic way. If I had to make a call, though, my bet's still on Hunter. He's taken up the role of the family's unofficial man of the house after Kody dropped the ball so many times. He was big mad when Kody couldn't even show up for Yzibel's surgery. The moment she called out for her daddy while waking up, that shattered something inside him and Christine. And that's something Kody's never going to fix. So I was rewatching that unforgettable episode where the entire sister wives crew, plus Kody, are sitting on the porch having their heart-to-heart about Christine leaving, aka the infamous knife in the kidneys moment. And I noticed something a little telling. After Kody's dramatic meltdown, where he accuses Christine of being a terrible sister wife and turning the kids against him, classic Kody, right? We cut to Mary in her talking head. She's so supportive, saying that Kody just needed to voice his frustrations, and she's glad. She validated Mary's decision to leave and acknowledged the mess that was Kody and Mary's relationship. Meanwhile, Mary's over here practically cheering on Kody's public verbal assault of Christine. Makes sense why Christine and Janelle have no desire to have a personal relationship with her post-divorce, right? True friends don't sit there enjoying watching you get hurt. And let's not forget the timing here. Christine was already out. Mary, well, she was still hanging on, desperately trying to find a way back into Kody's good graces. You can practically hear the scrambling for approval, can't you? And there's a whole different layer to Mary's baggage. Remember, she was Kody's only wife for a long time, his first wife and legal. So yeah, the woman was willing to scrape, claw, and twist herself into any shape Kody wanted just to hold onto a sliver of that old connection. Kody's all about loyalty, and Mary, she was desperate to redeem herself, even if it meant siding with him through whatever awful thing he said. Meanwhile, the addition of Janelle and Christine made her life way more complicated. She didn't have the kind of close, supportive relationship with Christine that would make her happy for Christine breaking free. Honestly, I don't think she even had the kind of relationship with any of the other wives that would have made her choose them over Kody, especially when she was still clinging to whatever piece of Kody and Robyn, let's not forget Robyn, she could hold on to. Christine, on the other hand, realized Kody wasn't exactly the knight in shining armor he'd pretended to be. She never had the connection with him she wanted, and she wasn't going to keep pretending. She had that for a long time, and it was just harder for her to let go. So here we are in this classic, each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way scenario, multiplied by 4 dysfunctional marriages. And let's be real, this was before Meri saw the segment where Kody basically said he didn't even consider himself married to her. She was still trying to be the good wife he told her to be. The gaslighting was real, and I'm honestly so glad she finally saw the light. At this point, I think we, the audience, need to stop playing the who's the better wife game. Kody's been doing that for years, and honestly, this scene is a perfect example of the chaos that comes from it. It's like he's playing a game of divide and conquer, and it's finally caught up to him. When will the Mykelti&Tony show finally wrap up? They're like those special guests who just don't know when to leave the party. Honestly, I couldn't care less about them, and to make it worse, they give me the ick. It's painfully obvious how desperate they are to stay on camera. TLC, really? Is this the best you've got? Oh wait, of course it is. This season is a complete snooze fest. The only reason we're getting so much of them is because the other adult kids are apparently too busy to film. Classic. Mykelti&Tony will just keep milking their screen time and Patreon money until fans finally tune out, but as long as the other siblings aren't showing up, Mykelti's gonna be front and center. Which, by the way, is hilarious because she was anything but the star of the show growing up. If that doesn't scream, TLC, you have got nothing, I don't know what does. It's honestly like they let a clown run the series, and by extension, drag his entire family into oblivion. Meanwhile, the OG wives and kids are somehow surviving just fine without the grifters. Go figure. So here's the million-dollar question. Why was Meri, the ever-dedicated wife, excluded from Robyn's house during COVID? She was following all the rules, staying safe, being cautious, and, let's not forget, totally eager to help out with the kids, since, you know, she's such an amazing mom to Robyn's kids. But nope, no dinner invites, not even a casual hangout. It doesn't make sense, does it? She could have been there, but instead, she was quarantined in some weird isolation. Why? Not like she was a risk to anyone. And then there's the whole surgery thing. Kody could have easily gone to New Jersey for Yisibel surgery, and Meri could have stayed back at Robyn's place to help with the kids, even with the nanny, I guess. It would have been a 6-week commitment tops, right? That could have freed up Kody to actually be there for Yisibel, but nope. Meri gets locked out, like she's some kind of leper. Kody says if one of his wives gets COVID, he'll be there for them. Sure, that sounds nice. But when it's his daughter post-surgery, suddenly the rules change. Is that pride? Is it just plain stupidity? Or is it the simplest answer? Massive selfishness? But wait, the cherry on top of this ridiculous sundae. On camera, Kody actually asked Robyn if Meri could come over. And what did Robyn say? Oh no, she had a better excuse. Apparently, it would upset the other wives if Meri was allowed in the house. The other wives would be confused about why Meri was allowed to break the COVID bubble. So basically, instead of being a normal human being, Robyn just moves the goalposts. Classic. Then when Janelle and Christine found out that Meri was following all the safety protocols and still wasn't allowed over, they were quite literally dumbfounded. I mean, come on, if the rules were followed, shouldn't Meri have been allowed to help? It's almost like the whole family unity thing was all talk, and they were starting to see it. Kody and Robyn clearly had no intention of letting everyone come together, no matter how well everyone followed the rules. That whole family first nonsense, yeah, totally not the case. Oh, and don't even get me started on Yisibel's surgery. Kody could have gone to Christine's place in New Jersey, isolated with her, and helped with post-surgery care. He could have taken the load off of Christine for once, but no, he did absolutely nothing. Instead, he just sat around and called Christine a shit sister wife. You know, priorities. Oh wow, this scene was so cringeworthy to watch, it was almost unbearable. Am I the only one who noticed Dayton looking genuinely heartbroken when he realized his dad just signed away his parental rights? Like, you could almost feel the weight of that moment. And to make it worse, they filmed the whole thing. Why on earth would they think that was a good idea? Those poor kids were so clearly uncomfortable. Brianna, especially, looked like she had no idea what was even going on. And don't get me started on how unfair it is that the adults can keep all their messy marital drama behind closed doors, but these kids are being exploited for juicy storylines on camera. It was like they couldn't even be bothered to explain why this whole thing was supposed to be in the best interest of the kids, or what the real reason was for making this decision. Spoiler, it wasn't about health insurance. Kody getting all worked up, talking about how he'd go to the mat for this decision, but not actually explaining why, just made everything feel off. But what made it worse was springing it on the kids while the cameras were rolling. Like, how were they supposed to process this news, or even express their feelings with an entire film crew hovering over them? Some kids need time to process big decisions, and expecting them to just react on the spot, like Kody wanted them to be jumping for joy, was beyond inappropriate. This was not a happy family moment. This was a forced, awkward spectacle. It almost felt like this whole thing wasn't about what's best for the kids, but more about pushing Mary out and forcing the original kids to accept her kids as siblings. Not to mention the weird move of giving them all the same last name. I mean, this wasn't just an emotional hit for the kids. It felt like another one of those manipulative moves for the show's drama. I grew up feeling like my dad didn't want me, but even when he finally did cut me off for good, I was still devastated. I can't imagine how those kids must have felt, knowing their pain was aired for the whole world to see. And for what? So the parents could cash in on the emotional turmoil. That's just cold. This week's episode, absolutely infuriating. I'm not even sure where to start, but let me just say, the whole argument in the driveway, a total joke, staged to the highest degree. I'm genuinely upset with the production company for letting them spin this narrative like it's some kind of reality. End rant. Let's be real, minus 19 seasons of watching them be terrible people, and nothing those two dorks do now can change that. It felt like damage control, and honestly, a bad Hallmark movie at times. Can someone please explain what Kody's supposed trauma is? I'm guessing it's the gut punch of Christine leaving him. His fragile ego just couldn't handle someone telling him, "I'm done," and the way Mary clung on all those years? Definitely an ego boost for him. When he realized Mary was finally almost out the door, he took the opportunity to say he'd been done for years. Newsflash, Kody, we don't buy it. And I still don't think he fully grasps that Janelle is gone. He's so quick to dish out hurtful comments, yet when anyone calls him out, he's the first to play the victim. Newsflash again, no one needs to gossip about him. He does an amazing job of making himself look awful all on his own. Now, let's talk about Robyn and Kody. Obviously, the entire thing was scripted to make them look good. It felt rehearsed and cringy, and it didn't improve their image with anyone. But what are the producers supposed to do? They can't make them be honest. R and K aren't capable of being honest with themselves, let alone each other. Sure, they could have cut them out of the episode entirely, but honestly, this argument did more to show that Robyn and Kody are very aware of how most people view them. This was their attempt to change the narrative. And don't miss the cherry on top, the episode title, How the Mighty Have Fallen. That tells you everything you need to know about the producer's take on this whole situation. So I'm a new convert to watching Sister Wives, and I'm currently stuck on Season 8, Episode 5. Now, before I dive in, let me be crystal clear. I don't give a flying fig about how these people choose to live their lives. Seriously, I couldn't care less. It's like whether someone's married to someone of the same sex or to a tree. It's their business, not mine. As long as everyone's happy, healthy, and not living in a dumpster fire, I'm fine. Everyone deserves happiness. Now, with that said, here's the thing that's bothering me. I get that Kody, at this particular point in time, is legally married to Mary. But I'm honestly unclear if the other wives have any sort of legal standing, or, any binding paperwork that guarantees them anything if things go south. Like, if Kody were to meet his maker tomorrow, would the underage kids even be able to claim Social Security? Is he even listed on their birth certificates as their father? Then there's Robyn. Oh, Robyn. In this episode, she's all uncomfortable because anthropology students are talking about living together without the sanctity of marriage. And she's concerned about the kids hearing that and thinking it's okay. But here's the kicker. She's having kids with Kody out of wedlock herself. Oh, but it's totally different because they're spiritually married, or whatever the religious jargon is. So yeah, they're living in this weird spiritual marriage bubble where they're fine with it. But she's acting like anyone else who chooses to live together without getting legally hitched is somehow the problem. It's cute, really. Robyn thinks that her version of living in sin is justifiable because of religious beliefs, while anyone else who does the same thing without a piece of paper is, fundamentally wrong. How sweet. But let's be real here. Legally, her situation is just as non-official as the students' cohabitation. And don't get me started on the head wife drama. Apparently, everyone was fine with Mary being the head wife because she had integrity. I'm laughing just typing that. They could trust her to be fair and reasonable with the family if something happened to Kody. Sure, January integrity is just a code word for she's the first wife, and we don't want to rock the boat, but okay. Honestly, I can't believe I'm actually defending Robyn in some twisted way, but I think they genuinely believed in their religious vows at the time. It's a whole different kind of before marriage living arrangement in their minds, so it's not the same. Really. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need a mental palate cleanser to wipe away this moment of unintentional sympathy for Robyn. Please, for the love of sanity, someone hand me a snarky meme. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.